here with Creative Life, and today is going to be the part one for our mini album using the Heartfelt Creations Wild Rose collection. So this is the paper we're going to be using, and it's absolutely beautiful. If you saw my design team haul video, you saw that this paper is absolutely beautiful. If you love the springy pinks and green colors, this is the paper for you. So it is absolutely so pretty. I absolutely love it. And y'all know me, I'm crazy about flowers. So this paper is just absolutely beautiful to me. So as always, I will have all of the links to the items that I'm going to be using for this mini album down below. And you can hop on over to JNS Hobbies and Crafts to get those items so you can build this mini album right along with me. So let's go ahead and zip on down and get started on building the outer layer of our album. You'll need 2 pieces of black chipboard that are 12 by 12. Okay, you will need your white cardstock that is 12 by 12. Okay, so again, you'll need your white cardstock, and you'll need 2 pieces of your 12 by 12 black chipboard. So all right, so let's zip on down, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to give you the measurements right now. Okay, so we're going to get started with the cover of our album. So making the mini album base, okay? So you're going to need 2 pieces that are 9 by 10. Okay, that's 2 pieces. You're going to need 2 pieces that are 2 5/8 by 10. Okay, and one of them is going to be our spine to our book, which is going to fit our a hinge on. Okay, so I want you to also cover the back of all of your chipboard. Okay, so I've already done that one, those, and then you're going to need 1 piece that is 4 by 10. Okay, and this is going to be a trifold album, so it's going to be super cute. So so I can't wait to share this with you guys. So yeah, so that's what you're going to need. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to need 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper that are attached to each other. Okay, and I've already done this piece here, but let me show you how you're going to do that. So what you're going to do, and because we're going to trim this down anyway, so you're going to go ahead and get your 12 by 12 piece of paper, and I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see the whole thing. All right, just like that. You're going to get your 3 5/8 inch tape. You're going to go ahead and place that on top of there, just like that, and you're just going to go ahead and go all the way down, just like that. Okay, just like that. And then you can go ahead and you can burnish that down. Alrighty, just like that. And then peel this off. Okay, and I'm going to grab my glue, and I'm going to put glue on here because this is how, if you have a lot of humidity in your area, I do. It's, you know, I live in North Texas, and so right now it's kind of rainy season and humidity in some areas. And so this is why I do this. It just helps really add a double adhesive to the paper. So I start at the edge at the bottom here, okay, and line that up with the tape. Make sure I go to the edge of the tape, which is like right here, okay, and then just go ahead and move that all the way up, okay, just like that. And then you can go ahead and just burnish that down, okay, just like that. So that is how you're going to attach your paper, your papers for your cover. Okay, and I'm just going to scoot back my computer here. Alrighty, okay, so now we've got 3 pieces that are attached to each other, and you've got your chipboards that are all taped in the back. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and lay these out. So leaving about 1 inch all the way around. So, okay, so now we're going to go ahead and lay down our chipboard. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to grab our 9 by 10 inch pieces, okay? And you're going to grab one of your pieces that are 2 5/8 by 10, okay? And we're going to go ahead and we're going to set this up here. So usually what I do is I usually try to leave about an inch here and an inch all the way around the chipboard. Okay. And to do that, I'm just going to grab my ruler and I'm going to bring it over at an inch. Okay. Like that. Push this over. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring my ruler down. So up here is the 2 inch and that leaves me at a 1 inch up here. So that's about an inch right here. Down here is a 12 inch and here's the 13 inch down here, right here. Okay. And so that leaves me about an inch down here and it leaves me an inch here. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to mark where I place my book down. Okay. So I'm going to put a mark here. And just, like I said, I'm making little tick marks. Now to leave some space between our spine and our first chipboard, you're going to grab your ruler and you're just going to mark it at a 1/4 inch. So you're going to put the end of your ruler at the edge of, or the end of your corner here on your chipboard, and you're going to mark it at a 1/4 inch. Okay, so I'm going to mark it here. All right, and that's where our spine is going to go. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and remove the back of my tape. All right, so I removed the back of my tape on my, or the backing of the tape from my spine. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and place some glue on here. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is make sure that if you have tape that's showing on the edge there, just fold that tape over. I tried to cut mine off as best as I could, but for some reason it's not cutting off. I think I need new Tim Holtz scissors. I think I need new Tim Holtz scissors. So where I made that tick mark at the 1/4 inch, okay, is where we're going to lay this down. Okay, and I'm going to bring that in just a bit so you guys can see it. See that little tick mark right there? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay this down right there. And just pray that this is straight. So I'm going to go ahead and I usually lay down my ruler first, so that way I know I get a good straight edge on the first one chipboard that I'm laying down. Okay, so there we go. So there is that. All right, and if you want to, you can definitely turn your paper over and burnish that down. Okay, so there is that part. So now what you're going to do, this kind of, it actually gives you a base of where you're going to start. So now we can go ahead and we can lay this piece down here. Okay, and again, I'm going to go ahead and lay that right in that where we made our tick marks. Okay, and before I lay it down, I actually want to go ahead and measure my 1/4 inch between the first piece and the spine. Okay, so just want to make sure I'm at a 1/4 inch on that, and it is. So yay! So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make another little tick mark right here. Okay, because I want to make sure that that is where it's supposed to be. All right, and I started doing a 1/4 inch, oh god, about, I don't know how many months ago, a few months back. I think it was last year sometime. I started doing a 1/4 inch on my albums because I just feel like they fold over better and your pages don't stick up. So yeah, and I actually got that idea from Shelly. So Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my glue down here. Alrighty. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this right in between my little tick marks here. Okay, make sure that that corner is good. And I'm going to bring this over. Make sure it's at the 1 inch. Yeah. Let's see here. Hold on. There we go. So now I can bring it over. Okay. And always use your, you can always use your ruler as your guideline. Your ruler helps a lot. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. So there we go. So there is that piece. Yay! Okay. Again, you can fold it over. Go ahead and burnish that down. And, if you can see the little ripples of the glue, if you're going to do it this way, don't worry about it. It won't show once you get your paper on. Okay? Because we're going to use our paper to cover this. So, alrighty. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab and I got a paper cut, you guys. I got a paper cut. I was like, ow! Oh my gosh. I think that's like maybe the second paper cut I've ever gotten from doing albums. I don't usually get them, but I don't know what was wrong. I touched the paper wrong or something. All right, so now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to lay on our second one. And we're going to go ahead and grab our ruler again. Okay, line that up. And you're going to bring your ruler to the edge of your spine here. Okay. And you are going to go ahead and mark it at 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that to the corner there. Bring this up. Okay. And I'm going to mark it right there. And I'm going to mark it at 1/4 inch, which is right here. Okay. And that's where I'm going to lay my next chipboard. Okay. Right. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to lay down our third piece. And I already made my tick mark down here. Okay. And I'm going to just grab my ruler and push this up a bit. Okay. So I know that part of it might be out of the frame, and I apologize. I'm trying to get it in the frame as much as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay this down. Okay, just like that. Even grab my glue. Okay, and now I'm just going to lay this down. And I'm just going to lay that down straight. Just like that. Oops. Okay. So there is that part. So now you can go ahead and you can fold this over. Fold it over that way. And just burnish that down really good. Alrighty, okay, so there are those pieces. So now we're going to go, and we're heading towards the end, you guys. So we're almost there. The next piece we have is our next little, and it's not really the spine area, but it's the next piece to help when it folds over, you're going to have a little piece right here that helps it fold over, right? So kind of like a book, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some glue on here, just like this. And again, I need to make my little tick mark for my 1/4 inch. All right, so I'm going to grab my ruler. I'm going to lay my ruler down here, just like that. Okay, and I'm going to make my little tick mark right at the 1/4 inch here. So, make sure that's lined up right. And I'm just going to make my little tick mark right here. So that is the 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay this down just like that. So this will lay straight on there. Okay, just like that. And then again, you're going to go ahead and burnish that down. So you can turn this over. Okay. So there is that piece. And now we're going to go ahead and put on the 4 by 10 inch piece. All right, so you're just going to go ahead and do that. And again, just taking out the tape. All right, and then I'm going to grab my ruler. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead, bring it to the corner there again, okay, and mark it at a 1/4 inch. I want to make sure that this is straight. Alrighty, okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, scoot my ruler over, and then lay this down to make sure that it's all straight on there. Okay, and there we go. Alrighty, okay, so there are all 5 of our pieces. Okay, so again, what you're going to do here is you are going to go ahead, spin this over, and you're going to go ahead and burnish this down. Alrighty, okay, so now we're on to our next step. So for the next step, we are going to go ahead and I want you to grab your bone folder, okay? And I'm going to move this out of the way. And I want you to go ahead and just run across your paper. So you're going to do this, okay? Just like this, kind of like you're, I don't want to say sawing, but you're just breaking up those fibers, okay? So your paper will fold over your chipboard a little bit better, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do that. And you're going to do that, I don't know, a few times, kind of like you're scoring something, but you know, without your scoreboard. You're just going to do that a few times. Okay. Just so it will fold over better. So I turn this upside down, do the other side. Alrighty. So next what I want you to do is I want you to just grab your paper and pull that towards you a little bit. Okay. And if it's not folding over very easy, then go back over it again. Okay. Be careful with your paper that we had placed the tape on those seams there. Okay. Okay, so the one thing I want to do right now is I want to go ahead and cut off this excess. So go ahead and grab your ruler and just measure an inch. Okay, so before we cut anything, we're going to go ahead, we're going to cut off this excess. So I want you to go ahead and just make a tick mark at an inch. Okay, the edge there. And you're going to go ahead and cut off this part right in through here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that off, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I cut off the rest of my excess here on this side. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and go back over this again. I'm going to pull this over just like this and kind of bend it over. Okay, and go ahead and do that there like that. Okay, and then same thing with the other side. You're going to go ahead and just go over this just like that. Bend this over. Okay, just like that. All right, and same thing with the top and the bottom. Just going to fold it. All right, so now your little papers should kind of have like a little bow. You know, they should be like kind of like, you know, kind of folding in a little bit. What I want you to do is right here in the corners, okay, so right down here, I want you to go ahead and cut those. Okay, so this, and what we're going to do is we're going to kind of like bevel these in a little bit. And so usually how I do it is I'll just come in just a tad, okay, and I'll go right to that X that we made. So you'll see that X, okay, and I'm just going to bevel that in just a bit right at that corner. Okay, so again, so here is that X. Let's see if I can. So here's that X area right here. So you have like this little square right here in your corner. You're going to come in and you're just going to bevel that in just a bit right to the middle of that X, or I call it an X, but that square. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and lift this up just like this. So you guys can see me cut that just like that. Okay, and same thing with this part. So right here, coming in on this side just like that. Okay, so now we have this, and now we're ready to put on our glue and all that. So yay! So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to place our tape, and I want you to place your 3/8 inch tape all the way around the top of your paper. Okay, so we're going to grab our 3/8 tape, and I'm going to fast forward through this part because it's pretty self-explanatory once you watch the video. So I'm going to go ahead and just place this. Okay, so once you get done with your putting your tape on, you're going to go ahead and just burnish. Make sure you burnish that down really good. Okay. So just going to burnish your tape down really, really good. Okay. Just like that. Alrighty. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put glue in the seam of our book right here. So I want you to grab your glue. Okay. If you are not going to use glue, excuse me, what I want you to do is go ahead and you can definitely take your tape again, your 3/8" tape, and go all the way around this way. Okay. So you're going to go all the way the inside of your book. So I'm just going to grab my glue and I'm going to put that right in through there. Oops, sorry, it got on top of the, that's okay. Alrighty. Take off this piece, okay, and go ahead and just squiggle your glue on top of that. You're going to bring this over, okay, and now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of grabbing my fingers and running it along the top of the chipboard, pressing inward, okay, and now I'm going to fold over. Alrighty, just like that. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder to just push that in. There we go, just like that. Grab the excess glue off of there, and there you go. So all right, so that is what we're going to do, how you're going to do all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the side here. Okay, or actually, I'm sorry, we're going to do the bottom part. The bottom part. So we're going to put our glue here at the bottom, okay, right here. Alrighty, put your glue at the bottom, just like that. Take your tape off, alright, and you're going to go ahead and just place some squiggly line glue all the way down. Make sure you get your corners really good, okay, and again, whoop, I got glue on my fingers. You're going to go ahead and just press that in, okay. So I want to show y'all how I'm doing that. Just pressing that in with my fingers and going along the ridge or the outside, pressing in, okay, just like that, of the book. Okay, so just like that. Okay. And I'm just grabbing my fingers and pressing that in. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and fold over. Just like that. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, and then you can burnish that down. Okay. Just like that. So, all right. Okay, so then the next part, we're doing the edges. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that off, just like that. Put some glue on the bottom here. And then do a squiggly line or up and down line. Some tape right there. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and smooth that out quick. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and just press in again. So I'm going to lift up my book, press my paper to the edge of the chipboard there, just like that. Okay, and fold it over. Okay, just like that. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing on this edge here. Okay, take this off. Put a little bit of glue in that little seam there, okay? And then do whatever, a squiggly line, or if you go up and down, whatever you would like to do. And I'm just going to smooth that out. This is where you want to make sure that you get real good coverage, okay, on your corners, okay, because you don't want those popping up. Even though we're going to cover those, you just want them to make sure that they're good and covered. So again, I'm lifting up my book, just pressing that paper into the side of the chipboard, folding it over. Alrighty, just like that. And so now there is our covered chipboard. Yay! So now what you can do is grab your bone folder, and you're going to go ahead and just burnish in those sides, or just kind of like, you know, indent them to your little seam right here. Okay, so you're just going to do that back and forth. Make sure that it's all burnished down really nice. Okay, make sure everything's burnished down. And I'm just going back over and burnishing everything down again, just making sure that the glue is good and everything's adhered well. It doesn't hurt to go over it, you know, a few times. Okay, so now you can go ahead and you can bend your book in. Okay, so now you should be able to have something that looks like this. Okay, so it will fold up just like that. Okay, so that's what it should look like. Okay, and next what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and cover the inside and we're going to go ahead and place some magnets on here. So when it closes, it will close like this. Okay, and I got some glue on there. I have to clean my desk. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. So now we're going to go ahead and cover the inside of our book. Okay, and the best way to not have our seams in the middle of our little seams or gussets right here that we have is to go ahead and place your pieces like this. Okay, so you're actually going to need two pieces that are 9 3/8 by 12, and then you're going to need the one piece that we cut off, that is the excess part that we cut off at the end of the book. That should measure about 4 7/8, and you're going to cut it down to 9 3/8. Okay, and you're just going to need one of those. And I went ahead and put tape around this part right here, and you can tape the inside here, but I didn't. I wanted to leave this for you guys so you could see it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to lay this small piece here, okay, right there. You're going to place your larger piece on top of that, okay, about 1/4 inch, all right, and then you're going to have this like that, okay, and then you're going to have the rest of this piece here, and this is going to lay on top of there. So that way none of your seams from your paper fall in through here, okay, because you don't want that, all right, because then when you fold your book, it may tend to pop up, and it won't lay flat, okay, so you don't want to do that. So that's why I do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fast forward and lay this down, okay. So now we're going to go ahead and lay down our magnets. And to do that, you're going to go ahead and measure in about 1 inch or so from the edge inward. And if you want to do it more, you can. Mine is about 1 inch and 1 1/8 inch from the edge inward. Okay. And then I went ahead and placed my ruler straight up and down. Since this is 10 inches, I went ahead and placed one magnet at the 5, one magnet at 2, and one at 8. Okay, so they're about the same distance apart. And then I went ahead and placed the other magnet on top of that. So I have the magnets sitting on top of each other, and I went ahead and took off the backing of each magnet. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to place a spot of glue just right in the middle, and it doesn't have to be a very big, it doesn't have to be very big, just a little bit. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and scoosh that around a bit, just like that. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and close this. What I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and take this part right here and match that up against the fold right here. Okay, which is this part right here. Okay, so this is going to go like this. So when it closes, this is how it should look. Okay, so you want it to look like that. All right, and now I'm just finding my magnet, and I'm just pressing down. Okay, I'm just pressing down on those magnets. Okay, if you want to, you can turn it over and just press down, and you can fill them in there in that little box area. And there we go. So now we've got our closure, right? So that leaves you about 3 magnets left. So you've got 3 for your closure, and now you've got 3 magnets here. I haven't picked out my papers yet, so I'm going to go do that now, and then I will be right back. All right, y'all, so now we're back. So we're going to go ahead and start our hinge. And you are going to need a piece of paper that is 9 3/8 by 12, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start that. And we're going to go ahead and start at 2.5 inches, all right? So 2.5, 3, all right? 3.5, and we're just going to do every 1/2 inch, okay? 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, whoops, 6.5, that's not 6.5, 7, okay, so 6.5, so ignore this line in between there, okay, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about this line right here in between this, because that one is an oopsie, and I'm going to cover that anyway. So, so it's going to be covered up. So let's go ahead and get folding. So for this, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set that here. Okay. So grab your bone folder, okay, and grab a pencil. And what we're going to do is we are going to count in 3 lines. So what I want you to do is I'm going to go ahead and come in a little closer, okay, so you can see my score lines. Alrighty, and bring this in just a bit more. There we go. Okay, there we go. So that is perfect. So what we're going to do here is you're going to count in 3 lines, and on the third one you're going to make a 1. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, make a 1, okay? And then the next one is going to be 1, 2, 3, make a 2, okay? And then 1, 2, 3, make a 3, and then 1, 2, 3, make a 4. Okay, so where we went ahead and numbered our score lines, that's going to be your hinge. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and you're going to bend this over. All right, so I want you to go ahead and I kind of started this new thing where I'm actually going to fold over where we make our numbers. Okay, because that's going to be your hinge part, and I'm going to show you another way you can make your hinge. So I used to just go ahead and instead of doing it this way, grab them, pinch them, and lay them flat and make the hinge. But I found that doing this helps really guide the score lines on the side of your hinge down better. So next you're going to go ahead and grab that 1 where we just scored. You're going to bring that up, pinch it, and lay it down flat. Okay, so just lay that down flat, bring it towards you, and go ahead and burnish that down. Once you have that burnished down, fold it backwards on the score line behind it, and there is your first hinge. Okay, same thing with your second one. So you're going to go grab it, pinch it, and lay that down just like that. Okay, rubbing your fingers on it helps to also, you know, make it, what do I want to say, burnish it down. So go ahead and burnish that, flip it over backwards, burnish that down. All right, grab your, where it says number 3 on that, bring that up, push that down. Okay, just push that down flat, just like that. Okay, bring that towards you, burnish that down, just like that. Fold it back onto itself, burnish that down. Okay, and same thing with number 4. Just pinch it, bring it in, make sure it's straightened out, fold it over towards you, burnish that down, fold it over, and burnish that down. Okay, so now you've got all of your hinges where they are looking like this, right? So they're already formed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over. Okay, these sides are your wings where you're we didn't fold these over where the score lines are. So you should have 1 score line on each side that have not been folded over yet. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn this lengthwise, and you're going to go ahead and put your tape right in those little valleys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab our tape, and I'm just using my 3/8 inch tape, and I'm going to go ahead, put that right in between both of those score lines. Okay, you don't want to get the tape on top of the score line, okay, because it will cause it to kind of be bulky right there, and it won't fold down right. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and tear that off just like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my next valley. Oops, there we go. Just want to make sure I'm in the camera for y'all. And just like that. Okay, and you can burnish that down. Grab your bone folder and just take your tape and tear that off. So just tear it like that. Okay. And I'm just going to burnish this one down. And you're going to do the other two just like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that real fast. Okay, so we have our tape on the back of our valleys here. So you're going to go ahead and take that one off, okay, the backing of one of your tapes, and then just fold this over onto itself, okay? So you're just going to fold that right over onto that hinge, okay, just like that. Same thing with number 2. You're just going to grab it. You can go ahead and pick this up and just pinch these together. So I'm going to try to show you without the other part flipping over on. So you could just pinch these together, okay, just like this, okay, just like that. And there you go. So there is your second hinge. And then number 3, again, you want to just pinch that together. You can lay that down on top of the other half there. Okay, and it'll be kind of like an accordion. It'll just start wanting to fold on top of itself. So let's see, just like that. Okay, just like that. So now you have your hinges. So you've got all of your hinges on there, just like this. All right. So now you can go ahead and burnish those in really, really good. Okay. And I'm just running my bone folder right up and down on that. Going to turn them the next way or the other way to the right side. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and burnish those down. And I find that when I do this, my hinges are more flexible when I put my pages on, so they're not as stiff. Okay. All right, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fold these 2 wings over. But before we do that, we are going to go ahead and put tape on these. So you're going to put tape on one side. So you can go ahead and fold them over now. Just go ahead and fold that over just like that. So you know where your score line is and where your tape needs to be. Okay, so you can just grab your tape. Put it up, you know, a little bit against that score line there. Okay, just like that. Alrighty. And then you're going to go ahead and do all of this area on both wings. So on the other wing, again, you can just go ahead and fold that up. Okay, so you know where your score line is. And you're going to place your tape right on that side. Okay, just like that. Okay. So just like that. And you're going to fill that whole piece with tape. Okay, so I went ahead and put my tape on both the sides of my wings, and now we just have this middle part. Okay, and I'm going to just zoom out just a bit for you guys. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, because our book is going to be rather large, okay, because it is going to be a 9 by 10, okay, we need some extra help with our hinge so it doesn't come apart, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my glue, okay, and I'm going to put my glue right on the edges here, okay, and I started doing this when the weather starts getting like really humid, okay, with a lot of rain and everything. I started doing this because I feel like it adds that extra adhesive to the hinge so it doesn't come apart. Okay, because I know a lot of people, or some people, have that problem wherever they live, may have a little bit more humidity than other areas. So I started doing this, and I live in North Texas, so it is rainy here. So sometimes, not all the time, but it's humid. So very, very humid. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take off one of the backing of the wings, okay, of the tape here. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn this way. And I'm going to make sure that I'm laying this down evenly. Okay, right on my cardstock here. Okay, just like that. Okay. So there is that. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just burnish that in. Just like that. Okay. Alrighty, so then the next way, what I'm going to do is take the backing off of the other side here. Okay. Just like that. Alrighty, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some glue on this one. Okay. Just like that. So get this corner up through here. Alrighty. And I'm just going to lay this one over on top of that, just like that. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So there is that. Okay, and now I'm just going to go ahead and take my little spatula and burnish that in. Okay, just like that. Okay, the next thing I want to do is before I finish this off, okay, I want to go ahead and burnish down in between the gussets. Okay, so I'm just kind of getting my napkin and I'm just pressing down in between the gussets, making sure that they are good to go, that they're burnished down really good, the edges are burnished down really good. Okay, just like that. Okay, alrighty. Okay, so there we go. So that is how you're going to do that. Before we do anything else, I want to go ahead and you can lay your tape on the back of here. So basically you're just going to do like we did with the wings. Take your tape and you're just going to lay that right across, just right across, just like that. Okay. And then you can cut that off. Okay, just like that. Alrighty, and you're going to do that with your whole back side, okay, of that. And then you're going to go ahead and make sure that you burnish that down. You want to make sure that you always burnish down your tape before you do anything else so it lays down nice and it doesn't come up, okay? So I want to go ahead and lay down our tape on our hinges so we don't have to do that later. So you're going to go ahead and grab your 1/4 inch tape, okay? And I'm just going to cut that off right there. And you're going to lay a piece of your 1/4 inch tape on every hinge, front of the hinge and the back of the hinge, okay? And you're going to go ahead and take that tape, lay it where the fold is, right next to that fold, okay? And you're going to just go all the way down. So you're just going to lay that right across, just like that, okay? And then I'm just going back over it with my finger to make sure it's Good. All right. And then you're going to do the back. So you're going to flip it over, take your tape, lay down that tape right on top of that fold, right on the other side of where you laid your other tape. And you're just going to go ahead and lay your tape down. Okay. Your tape is not going to be at the bottom of where your score line is. You do not want it touching the bottom of the score line where the gusset is. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and burnish that down. Bring that over. So now you've got your tape on this side and this side. So when we put our pages in, we just have to take off our tape, slide our pages in. Okay, so that's why I wanted to do this all at one time, so it's all done. So we can be all prepared. So okay, so okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. And again, you're just laying that tape right on the edge of that fold. Okay, you do not want it touching the bottom of the whole thing, okay, of the whole hinge there. Just on the bottom. I mean, just on the top of that there. Okay. Go. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab. I'm gonna go ahead and do my other ones. Okay, so there you go. So there is your hinge. And again, we're just going to go ahead and finish filling in our tape on the back of this, and then we're ready to put that on once we're at that point of putting our hinges and our hinge and our pages in our book. So, all right, guys, I will talk to you soon. Hey guys, I'm back. So now we're going to go ahead and cover the front and the inside of our book. Okay, and so went ahead and cut out the papers. So these are for the inside. Now the inside of the book is going to vary, and I went ahead and wrote down some notes here. For my flap, okay, and we're going to just do the inside real quick. All right, so I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a bit for y'all. There we go. So you can see everything. And so what I did was with this part here, okay, we are going to go ahead and we're going to lay down this one here. Okay, that one's going to be right there. Now for this page, I'm not going to have anything on top of this. It's just so gorgeous, y'all. I really, I'm like, I can't, I may put a little, corner piece right here to stick some photo mats on here. But really, if you wanted to, you could definitely stick a nice 4x6 right in through here. I just really didn't want to cover this up. It is so beautiful. And then for this piece here, we are going to leave it blank because this is where we're going to stick our hinge. So our hinge is going to fit on there just like that, right? Then on the second piece here, this is going to be the back piece. I, again, didn't make anything for this piece to put on here, and I went ahead and also put tape on all of my pieces so we would be ready to go. So this piece is going to go here. Now the first piece actually measures let's see here, 8 1/4 by 9 1/4. Now these cut instructions will not be in your guide, okay, because these are just what I cut. Now you may decide to cut something different, you know, who knows? So, so this is what I cut for the front. First piece is 8¼ by 9¼ Okay, so these cutting instructions that I'm giving you are not going to be in the cutting guide. Okay, these are just this is for the pattern paper, and pattern paper I usually don't give those out. So this is just separate from the cutting guide. Okay, so the cutting guide is more or less for your pages, your flips and flaps, and your base covering and making of your album. So the second piece is going to be at 8 7/8 by 9¼ It is going to be a little bit larger than your front piece here, okay? Then the back piece here is going to be, that is going to be the small one, and that's going to be 2 5/8 by 9¼ Okay, so that's going to go right here like that. All right, so there's that. And then the piece that goes over your magnets, that goes right there, and that is going to be 3½ by 9¼ Okay, now this piece right here, I don't know, I might put that like this. Yeah, I think I kind of like it this way. So I kind of like it like that. And so that's how this is going to flow. Okay. So that's how the inside is going to lay. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down my inside pieces. And okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick our hinge on. Okay. So that way it's already ready when we're ready to put on our pages. So go ahead and take that off. Put a spot of glue like all the way around in the corners. Okay, and I'm just going to smooth that out. Okay, just like that. Alrighty, and what I did with my little towel thing, oh, there it is. Okay, so here we're just going to go ahead and we're going to grab that and we are going to stick that right on here, right in between the seams, okay? And I'm just going to lift up and make sure that it's right in the middle there. Push this over just a bit. There we go. And push down. So I'm just grabbing my finger and going in between each of the gussets here. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my bone folder and just press down and do the same thing. Okay, just like that. Okay, there we are. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and like we did before when we made our hinge, I'm just going to press all of these down one way and go back, press them all the other way. I just want to make sure that the hinge is nice and laid down. I'm just going to go back and forth on that. Okay, just like that. Okay, again, I'm just gonna do this a couple of times. so there is that. So we are done with the inside now. We can go ahead and we can paper the front. Now, the one thing that I didn't say was that I did go ahead, and if you notice a slight tinge on my paper around the perimeter, is I did go ahead and I used some distress ink, and I used Victoria Velvet, and that is from the shop. Okay, so I did use that, and then I will be using the Bundle Sage, and we'll be also making some flowers using the dies that I got, so I'm really excited about that. So all right, so now let's go ahead and paper the outside. so So for the outside, it was such a hard paper choice, you guys, to pick out what I wanted for the inside and for the outside of my album. I mean, usually I know what I want, but this paper was so beautiful. I just had such a hard time deciding. So for the outside, for both sides of the book, you're going to need two pieces that are 2 3/4 by 10. Okay. For the fold over piece, you're going to need one that's 4 1/8 by 10. And then for the front and back, this is going to be for the front. Okay. And for the front, this is going to be 9 by 10. And then the back is 9 by 10. Okay, so you're going to need 2 of those. So again, these two will be laid like this. Okay, so these two are going to be like that on the book, on the front of the book. This is going to be on the back, and then these two are going to be on the side. Okay, so and I'm still debating on how to lay these up, if I want them upright or if I want them this way. I think I don't know how I want those yet. So anywho, I will find out once I get there. So we're going to go ahead and lay our book. We're going to go ahead and do the back first. All right. Again, I went ahead and did some of that velvet distress ink on the edges of all of my papers. And I'm going to go ahead and fast forward while I'm laying this down. so we have finished covering the front and the inside, the back, and the sides of our album. So, oh my gosh, it looks so pretty, y'all. I love this paper. So we are going to go ahead and move on to our pages. So I will be right back. Thanks for joining me today, y'all. And up next will be part 2 of this beautiful album. And to find everything you need to make this album, visit jnshobbiesandcrafts.com. Thanks a lot. Bye.